So you're running a business and you're getting ahead with AI. That's fantastic. But staying ahead, that's a whole different battle. So how do you turn that temporary lead into something that actually lasts? Well, that's what we're going to do right now. Let's dive in and build your company's AI fortress, one that your competitors just can't breach.
Here's our game plan. First, we'll get into why most advantages just fizzle out. Then we're going to build the 5 essential towers of our fortress. These are your AI moats. After that, we'll see how to connect them to create a defense that's basically unbeatable. And finally, we'll talk about how you guard that advantage for the long haul.
Okay, so let's start with the core problem. Gaining an advantage is kind of like capturing a hilltop in a battle. It's a great first step, for sure. But if you can't defend it, you're going to lose it just as fast as you took it. The real goal isn't just taking the hill. It's about building an enduring kingdom on top of it.
So why do they just vanish? Well, the simple answer is that most companies are great at innovating to get ahead, but they forget to build the defenses, the moats, that stop everyone else from catching up. A good moat makes you unreachable, no matter how hard competitors try or how much money they throw at the problem.
And this is exactly why this conversation is so important right now. AI completely changes the rules of the game. It creates brand new advantages built on data, on learning, on networks. And these are way more powerful than the moats of the past. If your strategy isn't built around these, you're basically building on sand. All right, let's get to the fun part. We're moving to the heart of our fortress. It's time to construct the 5 essential towers, and each one represents a unique AI moat that's going to protect your business.
First up is the data moat. This is your foundation. It's an advantage you build from proprietary data that your competitors simply can't get their hands on. And what's so cool about this is that the moat doesn't just sit there. It actively grows stronger all the time thanks to a really powerful compounding cycle.
This is the data flywheel in action, and it's kind of magical. It starts when you get that unique proprietary data. That data lets you train a smarter AI. That smarter AI attracts more users to your product. And what do those new users do? They generate even more proprietary data. See how that works? Each step just fuels the next, and your advantage just keeps growing, faster and faster. And here's what that looks like in the real world. A competitor, maybe they could catch up to 1.5 years of data if they really tried. But once you have a 5-year head start, that compounding effect kicks in so hard that your data advantage becomes nearly impossible to overcome. The gap is just too wide to bridge.
Now, having data is one thing, but what you do with it is a whole other ballgame. That's the learning moat. This is all about having an AI that improves faster than anyone else's. Just think about Google. Yeah, they have more data, but they also have absolutely brilliant engineers who are just better at pulling the signal out of all that noise. It creates a system that is constantly learning and getting smarter. Next, the network moat. We all know how network effects work, right? The more people use a service, the more valuable it becomes for everyone. But AI just supercharges this whole concept. Take a ride-sharing app. Sure, more drivers attract more riders, but when you add an AI that uses data from all those rides to create better, faster matching algorithms, well, now a competitor has to match your drivers, your riders, and your AI. That is an almost impossible barrier to clear.
Our 4th tower is the switching cost moat. This is all about what makes it difficult or costly for one of your customers to just up and leave for a competitor. Traditionally, this was stuff like, long-term contracts or really complicated tech integrations. But AI has created a much more powerful and honestly more subtle form of lock-in.
Just look at the difference here. It's night and day. Traditional lock-in is obvious, right? It can feel like you're trapped, and that builds resentment. But AI-based lock-in, it's invisible. A customer service AI that knows your entire history doesn't feel like a trap. It just feels like a better, smarter product. So customers stay, not because a contract forces them to, but because your service is just better. That's a way more durable advantage.
And finally, we have the execution moat. This is about having the best people, the best culture, the best way of doing things. It's the hardest one to measure, but man, is it important. OpenAI built a massive head start just by recruiting the world's top AI researchers. That multi-year talent advantage is a moat that competitors are still struggling to cross.
So we've built our 5 towers. They're strong, they're impressive, but a truly unbeatable fortress isn't just a collection of strong towers. It's about how they all connect and make each other even stronger. And this is the critical point. This is the big aha moment. The most dominant companies out there, they don't have just one strong moat. They have multiple moats that are all working together in synergy. The data moat makes the network moat stronger, which in turn cranks up the switching costs.
It's that combination that creates real, lasting power. Let's just look at this comparison for a second, because it really tells a story. Look at that defensibility duration column. An execution moat might last you 3 to 5 years. A data moat can last a decade or more. But then look at the network and switching cost moats. They're described as nearly permanent or permanent. When you start combining these, you're not just building a defense for this year, you're building one that could last for generations.
Okay, now that we know what to build, we need to know how to guard it. This next part is all about a practical toolkit you can use to constantly measure the strength of your fortress walls.
First, you have to be brutally honest with yourself. Ask this: if a well-funded, really motivated competitor decided to copy what you do, how long would it take them? If the answer is 6 months, your moat is weak. If it would take them 5 years or more just to get close, then you know your moat is strong. Time is a fantastic measure of defensibility.
Second, ask yourself, can your advantage simply be bought? If a competitor can just throw enough cash and a few key hires at the problem and replicate what you have, your moat is vulnerable. The strongest moats are built on things money can't easily buy, like deep user trust or a network effect that's already reached critical mass.
And third, even if a competitor had unlimited time and unlimited money, what are their actual chances of success? I mean, some moats, like trying to displace an entire social network, are theoretically possible, but the execution risk is so high that almost nobody would even try. The higher their chance of failure, the stronger your moat is.
Think of this as your Sentinel's checklist. You need to be constantly watching the walls. Are new competitors starting to chip away at your market share? Are your best people getting poached? These are the early warning signs, the red flags that tell you your fortress might have a breach.
But here is the ultimate warning. Even the strongest moat in the world is completely worthless if you can't adapt. Remember Blockbuster? They had a massive moat with all their physical stores, but organizational inertia, that inability to change, made them completely vulnerable to a tiny, nimble competitor called Netflix. The biggest threat sometimes comes from inside the walls.
So let's bring it all home. The ultimate AI fortress, the most durable one you can build, is created by combining those network effects with data advantages and high switching costs. That synergy creates a level of defensibility that is, for all practical purposes, pretty much impossible for competitors to overcome.
And that leaves us with one final essential question. You've got the blueprint now. You know how to build the fortress. So, which moat will you start building or reinforcing for your business tomorrow?